Are you impatient en route to your goals? I know I can be. Learning to embrace the journey over the destination is one of the most difficult things to do. Luckily, I've gotten much better at it. In this episode, I'm going to break down the 3 mindset shifts that I make and the things that I remember to keep more patient en route to my goals. You're listening to the Best You podcast, home to the 10-week transformation, where we help you lose fat, build muscle, and gain confidence. My name is Nick Carrier, and I've done personal training and group fitness since 2016 and have coached 512 people to transform their body and their habits in our 10-week transformation program. My mission is to help you become the healthiest, most confident version of yourself so you can get closer to your best you. If you're ready to learn how to stay more patient en route to your goals, then let's dive in. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Best You podcast, to a 10WT Tips episode. Today is a good one because today is honestly the thing that I struggle with most. It's the thing that I used to struggle with most. It's probably the thing I continue to struggle with most, but it's something that I've definitely continually gotten better at. And I wanted to share today with you because I know you guys are people who are striving for greatness. You're people who are striving towards your goals. You're people who want to be successful. You're people who want to make more money. You're one of people who want to be more fit. You're people who want to have a better relationship with your significant other. You're the people who want to be a better dad, a better mother, a better granddad, a better grandmother, all these things, right? Like you want to get better. That's why you're listening to the Best You podcast. And en route to improvement, en route to achieving our goals, we can all often become impatient, which leads to a lack of consistency, which ultimately leads to a lack of progress. And so if we don't have patience, then we won't be consistent and we won't make progress. But if we learn how to be patient, then that can allow us to stay consistent and that can allow us to get closer to the best version of ourselves. And like I know for me personally, I felt this a lot with my business, Best You, is, man, I just wish I made more money. Man, I wish I had more clients. Man, I wish I had more listeners to the Best You podcast. Man, I wish this was our revenue on an annual basis. And I kind of trick myself into thinking, when that happens, then I'll be happy. When I make this amount of money, then I'll be happy. When I have this number of clients, then I'll be happy. When I have this many listeners on the podcast, then I'll be happy. But that is nonsense because no matter what, the finish line keeps moving for me. Because I used to think if I had 50 clients in the 10-week transformation, I'm going to be absolutely thrilled and I'm going to be happy and I'm going to be fully fulfilled. And now I have 58 people in the 10-week transformation. And yes, that really excites me. But now I'm like, man, what if I had 100 people in the 10-week transformation? And so if we think that I will be happy when, then that when will continually get pushed back. We can't think I'll be happy when. We have to find a way to be happy now. We have to find a way to be happy with the process. We have to find a way to be patient with the process. Therefore, we'll get to that finish line, but that finish line isn't really a finish line. It's a new starting line. And so keep that in mind with your goals as well. Okay, 3 things I want to break down that help me stay patient with the process. Number 1 is faith in God. Now, I would say I'm religious. I grew up Catholic. I wouldn't say that I am the most devout Christian or the most devout Catholic in the world. I don't go to Mass every Sunday. I usually try to watch Erwin McManus, a pastor, on YouTube 1 time a week. I read a Bible app every single morning that takes me about 5 minutes to go through. And so I have it as a priority in my life, and I have it as a priority in my day to hit 7 out of 7 days on that Bible app to watch a sermon 1 time a week. And I'm wanting to learn more about my faith and my religion and God and everything. And I'm currently working on it. But I wanted to lead off with this point saying that I'm not the most religious person out there in the world. But I do know that having faith and having religion as a foundation of my upbringing, I went to Catholic school from kindergarten through 12th grade. And whether or not whatever you think about Catholicism, it gave me a really strong foundation of faith and a really strong foundation of my faith in God and my trust in God. And I really believe that things will turn out the way that they're supposed to. I just have this kind of like childlike faith of things will turn out the way that they're supposed to. I believe that if you do the right thing and if you have the right motives, then things are going to turn out the way they're supposed to. I believe that that upbringing of faith has provided me that childlike faith, that childlike optimism. Whether it's false or not, it's there. It's something that I keep top of mind. So like right now, while I'm impatient with certain goals that I have, I think, you know what? Just stick with it. Like God's got you. The universe has got you. Keep doing the right thing. And God and the universe will reward you. So that's the first thing that helps me stay patient with the process. Number 2 is actually faith in myself. This is the thing that I love talking about almost the most, is the trust that I have with myself, the reputation that I've built with myself as being the type of person who follows through with the promises that I make to myself. Because it's my belief that every single one of you listening knows something that you can do right now to improve your situation. You know one thing right now that you can do to improve your life. You know one thing you can do right now to get closer to whatever goal you're being impatient with. And therefore, if you know that one thing, then all it takes is you telling yourself to do it. And if you're the person who will follow through, then you believe you can make progress. I hope that tracked. I know, because I'm the person who will follow through with the promises that I make to myself, that all I have to do is make myself the right promise, and I'll do it. And if I do it, I'll make progress. And so because I have that reputation with myself, because I have that trust with myself, I see myself as somebody who's largely in control of the outcomes of my life. Of course, not entirely. There is undoubtedly an aspect of luck and happenstance in life, but I believe that I am in large control of my destiny. I believe that I am in large control of the outcomes and results of my life. And that's where I believe my self-confidence comes from, is like, I know I'm the type of person who will follow through. Therefore, I'm the type of person who can dictate the results that happens in their life. Sure, that might mean I'm not going to get all the results that I want next week, next month, next year, 2 years from now, but I know I'm going to get there at some point because I'm so damn diligent. I'm so damn persistent. I'm so damn persistent with following through with the promises that I make to myself that I know if I can just stay patient, I'm going to get there. And so it's faith in God. It's faith in myself that keeps me patient. And before I go into the third one, I want to mention the virtual 10-week transformation 1-week free trial. You guys have got to try out this 1-week free trial. I mean, it's so valuable. This is the free thing that I've created that I'm in love with the most, because you get 3 video workouts, and they're the actual video workouts that you would get in week 1 of the virtual 10WT. So you get 3 video workouts, you get 20 healthy recipes. That's breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then you also get a video of my goal setting framework that you can learn, that I teach to all my 10-week transformation participants. And you can get that today for free by going to nickcarrier.com/free trial. But I went through the 2 things. I want to break down the third thing that helps me be more patient with the process. And the third thing is all about how I define success. I don't define success based off of my results. I define my success based off of my execution and based off of my identity. I'll start off with the execution part. Like I mentioned in the last point, I see myself as the type of person who follows through with the promises that I make to myself. I define success as becoming the person who can follow through with the promises that I make to myself. The results that happen, that's just icing on the cake. The money that I might make, that's icing on the cake. The way that I might look, that's just icing on the cake. All those external things are icing on the cake. But I define success as executing on doing the things that I said I'm going to do. So I define success based off of the execution, which is kind of part of the second part of how I define success, which is based off my identity. Now, I want to tell you 3 different things that I define myself by. Number 1, my motives. I define myself not on like what I do, but why I do what I do. I try not to define myself internally, like as a fitness trainer or as an entrepreneur or as a podcast host or as a speaker. I try to define myself by why I do what I do. And that's basically, for me, my personal mission statement is I exist to get closer to the best version of myself so that I can help others get closer to the best version of themselves. And when I can be rooted in my motives and not defined by my status, that allows me to stay much more patient with the process. Number 2, I define my identity through my integrity. Integrity means you're a whole person. It means you are who you say you are. You do what you say you're going to do. And I do my best to show up the same as truly Nick Carrier in one environment as I do in a different environment. I try to be the same exact person around my friends as I am with my family. I try to be the same exact person when I'm with my clients as I am when I'm with my girlfriend. I try to be the same exact person no matter when you experience me, what day, what time, what place. I try to be the same person on this podcast that I am when I'm hanging out with my family in the living room. I am who I say I am, and I do what I say I'm going to do. I've mentioned that before. I follow through with the promises that I make to myself. And number 3, my identity, again, it's not based on results. Those are just nice byproducts. My identity is based off of the execution of my word and the execution of the process. So again, to kind of wrap that up, to be patient with the process, number 1, I trust my faith in God, and I remind myself of my faith in God that if I'm a good person and I'm truly acting with good motives, then things will turn out the way that they're supposed to. Number 2, faith in myself. I've built a trust with myself, a reputation with myself. I'm the person who will follow through with the promises that I make to myself, and that allows me to have patience that I will figure it out and I will find a way given the time. And number 3, what allows me to stay patient is how I define success. I define success based off of my motives, my integrity, and an identity-based approach, not a results-based approach. I hope this helps you. I know there's a lot of people out there who, man, we just want to be the next level of success. Man, we just want to make more money. Man, we just want to get that raise. Man, we just want to get promoted. Man, we just wish we had this house. Man, we just wish we had this car. But hey, it's not about that destination. That thing is going to provide you maybe with a lot of happiness right when you get it. But then it vacates. Then it's gone. Then it's gone. We've got to find a way to be happy now. We can't be happy when those things happen. We have to find a way to be happy now and be patient with the process. So I hope these things help you today. Make sure you go try out the virtual 10-week transformation 1-week free trial by going to nickcarrier.com/free trial. I hope this episode helps you stay patient when it comes to your goals and ultimately helps you stay patient on your route to get closer and closer to your best you.